Now tell about how you were devising a program.
Well,
now,
while this is going on, we're devising the program.
Yeah, and how did the idea for
and
fellows come
somewhere along the line, it becomes clear that my ideas about reforming California politics are bunk. That's not to be the focus.
Did this come to your mind, or did other
Well,
people tell you this?
No, it came to Bruce's in my mind. And I remember that for whole first year, we're going through the agonies of trying to figure out what it is we really want to do. And we're going up one alley after another. There was always this multiracial, multi-ethnic background to it, but that wasn't the focus. The focus would be campaign finance, it would, all of that. And eventually, and I think it took about the first year and a half or 2 years, we sort of migrated, and it wasn't like someday we just said hooray. We realized that the background issue that we were saying everything we did had to be multi-ethnic, multiracial, that was really the point. That how do you make a multiracial, multi-ethnic society work? And how do you honor cultural diversity and all of that? And of course, eventually that came to focus on the schools because of Laurie Olson. But so we sort of migrated from politics to that.
To culture, in a way.
To culture, and to basically saying, the real issue is how does California work as a multiracial society? And one of the things that had made the biggest difference was that we were starting to get census projections. And the first ones were that by 2010, whites would be a minority in California. And the next one was that by 2000, whites would be a minority. So we started out with just facts, telling people, get ready. Because this isn't we're not talking about, the word minority will have no meaning. Everybody will be a minority. So we started talking about getting rid of the word minority.
Now, when you say we started talking about it, where did you start talking about it?
Well, among ourselves, but then as time went on, because Bruce was a writer, we created a magazine. And so we had the California Tomorrow magazine. And Bruce started it with a fellow. I should go back and explain. The
fellows.
The fellows.
Right.
And my great friend Paul Newacek was helping me. He was my research partner and special assistant, or whatever you call it, at UC, and a great, great friend. And I would go to Paul for advice about everything. He's the best researcher I've ever known. And he, of course, went on to get every award you can get for basically doing research on kids in the United States and their health. But Paul, so I would lean on Paul, and I remember we retreated down one weekend to my family home in Santa Cruz, and we're sitting there talking about all of this, and it became clear, one, that this multiracial thing was the guts of it, but second, that how were we going to staff and do all of these things? And that's where the Peace Corps came back, and I said, well, I want to start my own Peace Corps, and we'll get young people, and they'll be fellows, and even if we screw up what they're doing, we'll expose them, and they'll have an opportunity to do good things, and it'll be cheap labor, but we won't be exploiting the labor, we'll be helping the labor. So we're going to have a fellowship program.